Hello everybody, DJ Seanums here, playing some EU4 tutorial with no DLC, and this is part 6. So when we last left off, when I was doing some editing, I realized that I just kind of kept splitting my troops. Like, when we would get to a level 1 capital fort, I would always leave 4 troops, and I just kept saying, I'm going to leave the bare minimum, but I wouldn't really go into any further detail than that. So the reason I would say that is for a level 1 fort, which is a capital fort that every nation has in their capital at the bare minimum, you need to siege it with 3,000 troops per level of fort. Now, the reason I leave 4 is because if there's a disease outbreak or because of attrition, if you leave 3 and you drop below 3,000 troops, obviously you won't lose the siege progress, but you also won't progress any longer until you meet the criteria of having the 3,000 troops again. So I like to leave 4,000 just in case we dip below 4,000, the siege doesn't stop. And secondly, we did have to siege a level 3 fort in Northumberland, I believe. And for that, we required at least 9,000. If I go to the building designer here, you can see that castles, which are the first level forts you can buy, they have +2 fort level. Music's a little loud. Let's turn that down. Now, for whatever reason, the way that Paradox, I'm sure there's a reason that I'm not seeing, but Paradox has fort buildings as +2 fort level each time. It's in evens, so that's why there's no level 2 fort or level 4 fort. You will always start with a level 1 capital fort, and then it'll get better than that. So yeah, secondly, something I wanted to make sure to do before I forgot is turn off war taxes, because mill is very important and we no longer need it. Now we need we've won the war with England. We can't really rest on our laurels. So what we're going to do is we're going to finally pay off our loans that we had at the very beginning of the game. You can either hit this button right here with just the stacked coins to repay a single loan at a time, or you can hit the one with the bag to repay all loans. It'll tell us right here, this will cost 205 ducats. So we will do that. And now, as you can see, at the beginning of the game, I believe our loan size was around 40. Because we just paid off 205. So yeah, it was about 40, 41. And now our loan size is 81, so we can actually go back and do indebted to the burghers again. And this time we'll take out 5 new loans of our current loan price, because our economy has improved greatly. It's doubled pretty much. So now our loans are 81. We're not going to do that right now. We're just going to kind of take a look at our finances. So Navy's fine. We are currently reinforcing our men. With mercenaries, we're not over the force limit, so I think I am going to leave the mercs on hire. Let's grab the men and shift consolidate to try to lower the cost of reinforcement. If you see, if we weren't reinforcing, we would almost be breaking even, which with how much money we have, it's not that bad to run a deficit at the moment. Inflation is getting a little high. That's what this number means, this percentage. That's what this chart kind of dictates. It's been slowly creeping up. Every time we take money from countries, that'll increase our interest. We have to keep an eye on that. We might want to buy that down soon. Or alternatively, we could look for, I believe it's an admin advisor. Ooh, Diplo Rep is finally in there now that I don't need it. So yeah, it's time to seize land. It's 1456. The only argument to not seizing land right now would be to dev, because the burghers are happy and we get the reduced dev costs. Now, we have not taken a single tech besides mill tech yet this game, and it's 1456, so I think we are not going to dev for a while. Although, if I hit Y, which is what I've bound institutions to, Renaissance spawned in Italy, and currently, that mode's being a little weird right now. You can also click on the institution map down here on a province. See how close you are. 1459, huh? 1459. If you go to the technology tab and then click N or click on this little book, you can see show institutions. And this is where we'll embrace it when we eventually have it. 94 Diplo, huh? We don't earn Diplo at the moment because we are currently annexing the Isles. Annexing a subject costs you Diplo points. So that's why I was kind of feeding land to Desmond, because I was making a trade. Instead of paying admin to core the Irish land, I was making a kind of, I'll pay the diplomatic cost later to annex them. So that said, we're about 3 clicks away. Let's see, we would get 5.66 Renaissance per click. We'll do the 1 click. We'll do the 1 click. That sounds good to me. Let's group up in northern Scotland. Let's see, we have the 1 cog still. Our naval force limit, we kind of let our navy get bodied a little bit. That was my fault for not paying attention. I am going to not try to push England for navy superiority yet, because we do not have the economy, I feel. So we're just going to go with lights, nice and simple. And we're going to spend a bunch of our money getting our fleet up to snuff again. And I don't think I'm going to build cogs. I don't want transports, really. Now, if we did go to war with Norway, and for whatever reason we did actually have naval superiority, it would be good to have... it would be good to have some cogs, man. We'll go a little over our force limit here. We'll go 1. We will go 2. You know what? No, we're not. No. Yes, we are. Screw it. We're gonna get some cogs just to have. I know I deleted them, but we have money now. Things change. Priorities change. We'll build a second one in the queue there. We can core the Pale, but we currently do not have... We do not have, the admin points. I think I will seize land now. Fewer rebel-controlled armies than 1. We've completed that, so we just need to advance a day. Okay, I believe I am fully in the loop now. Let's see how we're doing. Trade. We have 31% of the North Sea trade node power. And let's unpause. Let's get going. Okay, so we did satisfy our mission. Nice. We are at 30% crown land, which means we are no longer getting the bad penalties. So we could sell titles, or we could... God, we need a cardinal. We could pay 10% crown land to get +1 monthly admin power, and I think... Let's see, that will lower equilibrium by 5. We would no longer satisfy the threshold that we've been trying to maintain of a trending towards 60%. So we could do a couple things. We could either go with religious culture, which is very good. As you can see, every owned Catholic faith, which is either in the British culture group or has an accepted culture, gains religious society, which is local unrest, so rebels will fire less often. Local tax modifier, so it earns us more money. I think we will turn this on. But this costs crown land, actually. Shoot. Okay, we'll turn this on over the monthly admin. For now. So now we get negative modifiers again, but they're not too bad. And our economy should get a little better. Taking attrition as we're moving through land. Not ideal. We have our cog parked in Cork because there's a capital fort there, but I'm gonna bring it home to Dumfries. We have annexed the Isles. Mission fulfilled. We will not turn this mission in because we cannot currently build buildings. You can also see your vassals' mission trees down here. Kind of neat. We are going to have some rebellion problems. So if you look at all of these rebels, we have the closest one are the awfully separatists. They're at 80%, and if you hover over the percentage, it'll outline the provinces that they're going to rise up in. So that's okay. Now, I think in our last part we did rival Denmark. If you look at the English, we cannot currently embargo them because we have a truce. And if you look up here, power projection. Power projection is very important. You want to shoot for 50 power projection to earn one of each monarch point. At 25 projection, you get a leader without upkeep, which is nice. A leader without upkeep is like a general or an admiral. These give some very nice modifiers. The way that you mainly build power projection is by humiliating your rivals. And we could have maybe pushed for a humiliate on England. But quite frankly, I think the larger you are, like as Scotland, we started out with only 2 rival options, which was Denmark, and by virtue of Denmark, Norway, and England. And I really didn't find it worth it, like worth our resources to try to humiliate nations that strong. Now, we have to be mindful of supply limit. You have to have a unit selected to check supply limit. It's only 21 over here. So we're going to tell our non-mercs to stop in Avernus. These guys to chill. Tell him to come there. And the mercs will still go to Sutherland. Very nice. Now we have a free slot. Free diplomat. Now we're gonna annex Desmond next in 57, so that's next year. So let's start improving with them. We won't probably be able to improve in time, but that's okay. Now let's keep an eye. So currently, I was talking about in one of the parts that we need to be either sharing a C zone to fabricate claims or share adjacent land. So currently our only real war targets are England and Norway. We can't reach, I wouldn't want to fight France anyway, but we can't really reach anybody else. The HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, let's see, is it T? Do I have Imperial set to R, which is the Holy Roman map mode. This is the Holy Roman Empire. It is defended by an emperor. At the beginning of the game, it's Austria, and he's very strong. If you attack anybody inside the empire, Austria will defend them, and Austria will bring their allies, and the nation you attack will bring their allies. So it's pretty much you falling on a sword to attack the empire, unless you're really, really strong. Or the emperor is really, really weak. Because the emperor is elected. There are 7 electors in the Holy Roman Empire, each with their own vote and majority rules. So currently, if Austria were to die, Austria would be re-elected, you see, because 3 people, these little shields underneath the larger shields, these are the electors, big shields. And then the icon underneath is who they are voting for. So currently 3 people are voting for Austria, 1 is voting for Landshut, 1 is voting for Hesse, 1 is voting for Nassau, and 1 is voting for Ansbach. So these guys are splitting their votes, and Austria is going to come out top dog because of that. Okay, we expelled a spy network from Norway. So basically, our only real option here is to declare war on Denmark. Okay, last joust, very strong event. So we can pay 30 admin power and 26 ducats, and we will get 10% morale of armies, 1 yearly army tradition, and half a yearly prestige for 20 years. So almost always take that event. Very good. Now, unfortunately, we do need to send... Let's shift consolidate again to keep reinforcement costs down. We do need to send 1 unit with our leader Casper von Keppel, because the Mercs don't have a leader in charge anymore, because we bought him. Now we are going to tell the Mercs to attach to the second army, which is our army. We're going to tell this Merc group to attach to the second army. And now let's open the ledger. Let's take a look at strength. Let's look at navies. Rivals. So Denmark has 1 heavy, 4 lights, 8 galleys. Now galleys are stronger than lights when they are inside coast or inland sea. So as you can see by this tooltip, this is a coast. Galleys will be slightly more effective here, doing 50% more damage in combat against other non-galleys. But if you look at inland coast, galleys will be more effective here, doing 100% more damage in combat against other non-galleys. Now, why did we build light ships then, if galleys are so much stronger? Well, galleys are stronger in combat, that's true. But light ships, they move faster, which is nice. They have less cannons, but the main thing is they are the only ship that gives 2 trade power per ship. Now, if we look at the trade map mode with E, currently we have 108 trade power in a North Sea node. That's like 3 times more than the next closest person. And as you can see from light ships, with only 13 light ships, you're getting 28.6. So they basically are ships that are kind of a jack of all trades. They make you money and they help you control the sea in combat. Now, so I think, so this is coast. A lot of coast over here in the British Isles. Open sea is over here. So Denmark itself has 13 combat ready ships. And then Norway usually has a fairly strong fleet. Let's turn off rivals. Norway has 2 heavies and 3 lights. So it would be tough. I think we're going to wait until our ships finish building. It would be nice to have a couple heavies, no doubt about it. But if you look at heavies, they cost 52 ducats. And their maintenance per month is half a ducat. That is too much for us right now. We're already losing money. We haven't built the ships yet. Yeah, so I would really love to dev one more time. But the mercs or the burgers are no longer loyal. That might be okay. We can not min-max for 1 click probably. This would give us 5.83 Renaissance, which would pretty much finish us off for 103 Diplo. I'm gonna do it. There we go. Now next month we will have Renaissance in our capital, or we should. It's saying 1458, but come on. Present, very nice. And a rebellion fired at the same time. So Renaissance has appeared in Lothian. We should foster its growth and embrace it when it is spread through our nation. And then a revolt in the Midlands. So now we have Renaissance. If we hit Y, it's going to spread to these adjacent provinces that it touches in the C tile, I believe. So currently 0.63 in this province per month, 0.68, 0.54, 0.77. So it's going to take a while. Let's see, the best one would appear here in 1468. So 11 years. Now, if we go to embrace it, it would cost us 292 ducats to embrace the Renaissance, which would give us some nice benefits, construction cost, dev cost, and more importantly, Miltech would be cheaper because currently we're suffering a penalty of 15%. Now, looks like there's no diplomatic map mode for the builder, which is kind of weird. So I don't even know if I can sell the Renaissance if I do have it. Let's see. If we click on Castile, is there an economy action to offer knowledge sharing? It does not look like it. So you might not even be able to sell the... You can sell the institutions in an expansion. So I don't know how important it will be for us to embrace it immediately. I think we will take out burger loans. Indebted to the burgers. We'll get some burger loans, make a bunch of money, and then we will just embrace the institution. Booyah. And now we could take tech, maybe? No. All right. Well, we'll just have the money on deck. We'll send the mercs to go take care of that rebel problem. I think maybe we'll have the main infantry chill in Perth, because the mercs are going to be walking back and forth, and I don't want them to take attrition at the end of the month. Okie dokie. So a bit of the country needs this little bit of peace that we're going through. I think we're wearing down our war exhaustion. We're gonna keep using the mercenaries to fight. Look at this is the highest we've had manpower in forever. Beautiful. We're letting the mercs do all the fighting. The mercs are keeping the country safe. So let's take a look. We can hit the builder, excuse me, and go to the ships. Get a good idea for when the ships are going to be completed. We are currently losing half a ducat a month. Taking back the rebel controlled area. The next one with fire will be Tyrone. And we can now start pouring the Pale. So we have a whole Scotland. Nice and united. Now, if I were to declare war on Denmark... No, I would have to declare war on Norway, which would in turn call in Denmark. So Sweden is still... I wasn't even taking that into account. Sweden is still not independent yet. Usually, they have so much built in for them to become independent. They have a liberty desire of 100, but nobody is supporting them. That's a shame. So we might not actually be able to go for Denmark. We're getting close to being able to sell all these ships. The transport. This is a transport. We're getting close to being able to buy our first papal ability. Tell you to protect trade in the North Sea. So yeah, now I'm kind of thinking maybe we have a part of peace. Castile is fighting Granada, Morocco, Talafet, Sus, Marrakesh, and Tunis. So we can hit Y, which is my diplomatic map mode. So Castile is fighting all of North Africa right now. But it looks like they brought in Portugal. Castile, Navarra, and Portugal. So the Spanish Reconquista, I guess. Now we can hit right click on our country. We can scroll up to truces. And we can see we have a truce with England until 1466. So 8 years until we can do anything there. We might speed 4 or speed 5 at this point. So they would outnumber us. But it's not bad. Castile would not answer our call to arms. Because obviously they are preoccupied. Unfortunate. So we can trade a little bit of inflation for admin. I love to do this usually. 0.5 inflation for 50 admin. In my opinion, is a good trade because it costs 75 admin to reduce inflation by 2. So I will take the 50 admin. And then I will reduce inflation by 2. Almost pay it pretty much, you know. Good deal. I like to keep inflation below 5 or 6. If it starts getting to like 6, you can see by hovering the tooltip, you construction cost goes up, fort maintenance goes up, infantry cost goes up, light ship cost. Everything is more expensive. Advisor costs. So you just want to keep inflation low if you can. Looks like we have a ship over here that I didn't see. We currently have 21 lights. Is that enough? We could float the possibility. Our economy is almost in a place where I would consider. Now, is there mothballing in this game? In this, there is no mothballing, so we have to be careful about building heavy ships. We cannot really reduce the maintenance on the heavy ships once we've got them. So, God, our economy is just so bad right now. Let's take a look at the papacy, and let's decide which bonus we want to go for. I think what I would like to go for is church tax, construction cost minus 10%, which we can't utilize yet, and national tax modifier 15%. As you can see, we make most of our money from taxes. So I think that's going to be the first step. Oh, this is okay. So we lose. Oh, gain stab. What did I say, man? 70 ducats is nice, but we gotta gain stab, I think. But I mean, there's no prosperity to build up in the base game, so I'm kind of rethinking myself here. But with the advisor costs, we are getting older. Our king will die soon, and we will lose stab when he dies. So the 70 ducats and the half a yearly papal influence would be great. But I think we will take the stab in preparation for our king dying. Denmark discovered our agent. That's unfortunate. Let's tell him to come back, because the spy network will continuously decrease even while he's there when he's discovered. Next, France. Trust minus 36. I don't think in the base game. That was a grave mistake by me. I don't think in the base game you can ever recover trust once you've lost an alliance with somebody. So we might have to just... Oh, and they rivaled Castile now. Okay. So yeah, I think France is done. I think our hopes of being friends with France are done. R is Imperial. So Burgundy is not in the HRE yet. So being friends with Burgundy would be risky. Burgundy is friends with some pretty weak nations. I think France would take them. We are somewhat close to an alliance with Burgundy. It would be nice to inherit Burgundy's land. That'd be kind of cool. But people would declare war on us over it. Portugal is royal married to England. But they could be an ally for us. Alternatively, Poland or Austria. Austria rivaled France. We might be looking... I'm going to improve with Austria. We're very far away from any chance of an alliance. But I'm going to go for it. We're going to start working on them now. We are actually earning money, I believe, because I bumped stab. We're now getting more trade power. National tax modifier. Well, that's good. Sweden's navy, I assume, is going to be pretty good. We'll open up the ledger and take a look. So they have a lot of ships, all of them. Not too many combat ships between Norway and Sweden. So 12, 23, 47 ships, or 25. However, we have mostly combat ships. If we built 2 heavies, we would lose a ducat a month, which means we would be at a loss. But would that be enough? With the 2 heavies and the 21 lights, would that be enough? Denmark has the 1 heavy, and Norway has 2, I believe. 2. So this is tough. I don't know. We could almost certainly get the war goal in time. I'm worried. We do have an admiral. He's okay. He's not really the best, but so we can build forts. I think we just need to focus on getting tech right now. Miltech would be great. We really are so far behind. Looks like you can't upgrade advisors in the base game. That's unfortunate. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go up to speed 4. I don't really, God, it feels so bad to wait for the truce with England as our only source of expansion. Okay, we can take Miltech. We'll take that right now. Looks like there's not even innovativeness in the base game, so we can upgrade our unit types. I like to go with the ones that have an offensive shock and 2 offensive morale pips. So yeah, if I need to take something from somebody to get me closer to people to fight. I want to fight. So if we took like Gotland from Denmark, we could fight like the Teutons or the Livonian Order. Teutons are actually allied with Muscovy for some reason, so that's a little scary. Bordering Poland, so like if I took Livonian land or something, we could maybe get an alliance with Poland and like use them to fight Muscovy and maybe expand this way. Scottish Russia. Just trying to think. It's always good to evaluate. Can't really expand we can't really expand into the HRE. Naples is independent though. No, they're not. They fell back under Aragon at some point. Aragon has 23, Naples has 5, Aragon has 28 and 14. So Aragon has 5 lights, 9 galleys. And they would be in the inland sea, so their galleys would wreck us. Is there a way I could get to war with Aragon? Ferrara, Savoy, not really. I would love to take Italian land and start growing into the Mediterranean. Oh, yeah, we did have rebels fire. Let's go put those down with the mercs. We need another fort, actually, because currently our zone of control in Ireland looks like this. It's horrendous. I built this fort in Ulster so that if somebody did have naval superiority, it'd be harder for them to make it so that we couldn't cross. So like a good fort would probably be like right here in the woods. It would zone of control 5 things. And then maybe we could get one in Kildare when we annex them. And it would, yeah. So maybe these 2 areas for forts. And then maybe Desmond eventually. But we don't really need to fort up Ireland too much. Eventually, I would like to like be a naval power and not even let people land on our nation. We are losing money. Army maintenance, mercenary. I really should be paying attention to the how close these are to firing. How many more rebellions do we have? We have Ulster, Thomond. I'm letting separatism go up. If we had a fort, that would not happen. Now, that's another reason to build a fort. We'll just keep the mercs here. I'm just going to speed 4 for a while. Shadow Kingdom has fired. This is an event for the HRE. This is when the Italian nations are going to try to leave the HRE. It's time to abandon Italy. So Italy is now not in the HRE except for Genoa and Lucca. Rebels fired. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at autonomy. So we can lower autonomy in the places we inherited from the Isles. Then cannot Limerick cannot had a rebellion fire. So whenever a rebellion fires, there's a minus 100% unrest for, I believe, 10 years. You can actually look at the modifiers on the province. So it doesn't show it here. It shows our autonomy decrease local unrest plus 10. Let's see. Recent uprising minus 100, but for how long? I'm not sure on that. But so yeah, lower autonomy, some more. The Pale can actually. The Pale is not a core yet. A little weird. Why is the Pale's autonomy so low? I'm a little confused by that. So next will be Ulster. There's a fort there. That's fine. We'll chill in Limerick. So low crown land. When can we seize land again? 1461, 1109. I really hate to be losing money. We need these mercs. I guess we don't need the mercs anymore. Let's build one cavalry. And let's build 1, 2, 3 infantry. And hold on to the mercs for a little bit. Let them put down a couple more rebellions, and then I guess we'll get rid of them. So we're going to do this trade again. 50 admin for half an inflation. We won't buy it down, though. We'll actually save it for tech this time. Getting churches would be massive boost to our economy. Rebellion is going to fire soon. So we can either get supporting the Florentine school, which is more prestige. Look at our prestige. Look at what we get from that. Morale of armies almost plus 5%. Improved relations, aggressive expansion. So 30 admin, 10 dip, and 60 ducats. I don't think we're going to do that. I'm a little bit worried about our finances. I just bought a cavalry, so our finances are going to look even worse now. So I think... Is this just pure mercs? Pretty much. We could maybe... No, you can't force them to fire. Dang. Okay, so we can actually annex Desmond. Let's do that. I forgot to buy the papal influence, so we'll do that. Now we get 15% national tax modifier. We could have alternatively gotten the diplo annexation cost reduction here, send papal legate, which could have been good, but I'd rather the economy right now. This would have saved us quite a bit of diplo points, but that's okay. Okay, Pale is now part of our lands. I will decrease autonomy here. Oh, I see why. Because it was part of a state already. Okay. Poland and Danzig are doing a thing. So Poland might be fighting Muscovy soon. That's pretty interesting. And then Limerick is a core. It is stated. Okay, this rebellion should fire any moment now. 13.4 chance of increasing by 10% each month. So come on now. Come on. Fire, please. Really? All the other rebellions were firing when I wasn't paying attention. We'll let the one in Ulster chill for a bit, because there's a fort. I just want this one to fire. Please. Please? You kidding me right now? At this pace, the next revolt will be in 0.6 years. It said that like a year ago. Wow. How is it that when you want a rebellion to fire, it won't fire? Next, I think we'll improve with Portugal. Because even though they're still royal married to England, it's very likely they will pick up that alliance again. We could maybe, you know, have them instead of England. Okay, cool. So the game, as soon as I'm going to leave the province, the game is going to fire the rebellion. Because they're rude like that. Told you. Now, at least in the expansion, you do get a, you do actually, if you have troops in the area, you can suppress rebels. Let's actually see a place with unrest. So, tolerance, friendly troops minus 3.21. So we were actually reducing the chance that it fired. But, yeah. So I think it's time to get rid of the Flemish company. They served us well. And with them gone, we are actually making a profit. And we are going to immediately turn around and train up some regular infantry. We're going to keep the Free Company around. Let's see. So our next uprising will be... What the hell? We actually have a wrong religion? No, I don't know what that is, what that's all about. So Meath, which is Dublin, I believe, yeah, is the next rebellion to fire. So yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of chilling. No real war, unfortunate. We started off so strong. We can seize land and summon a diet. Let's do that. Get a base tax of 3 in man for 10 prestige. The nobility can... Okay, so they want us to annex Desmond. Upon completion, we will gain 10 loyalty. We will not get a Diplo reputation penalty, but we already don't from the nobility thing that we have enacted. This nobility integration policy. Or have 50% or more of the trade power in the North Sea. Get another half-price advisor. Gain some loyalty. These all kind of suck. I feel like. I guess out of all of these, let's see, how old is our advisor? Our trade efficiency advisor is 40. So, I guess we'll accept this one. And then we can seize land. Which we will do because I don't want to dev. And then, now that we're at 30, we could contemplate going for admin, which I think I'm going to finally do that. Let's group up our boys. Supply limit is really not great. I think we will actually group them up in Sutherland now. Morale of armies minus 5% for 2 years. Truce with Desmond is up. We're going to extend our loans. Take a look at Portugal. See how they feel about an alliance. Next month, they would take an alliance. So we will bring our guy back from spying on England, and we will get an alliance with Portugal. Let's see. They have not allied. We might actually be able to force this this relationship to fall apart because we are rivals. We are mutual rivals with each other, myself and England. So Portugal is going to get a penalty to England's opinion because England's going to be pissed off. They're like, you're friends with Scotland? They kicked our ass, dude. How could you be a traitor like that? Let's go back to spying in England. 95.8% on the vassalization. We will actually inherit Desmond's troops. Now, I'm going to leave Kildare and Northumberland because I want to have 2 vassals. A, because having vassals contributes to land force limit. If I look at the military tab and I look at the land force limit, as you can see there, all the modifiers that contribute to our 31 land force limit. We have +6 base. Every country has a 6 base land force limit, plus 1.3 from our vassal of Northumberland, 1.3 from Desmond, 1.3 from Kildare. So our land force limit is actually going to go down when we integrate Desmond, but that's okay. And I think, unfortunately, not really much happened in this part, but we're going to, I guess, get ready for another English war in 6 years. So I think I might want to fabricate on Gwyneth, I believe is how that's pronounced. Because I want to release, I have plans to release Wales as a vassal next. So that will be it for this part. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.